Everyone, my name is Areli. Welcome back to the Information Systems Weekly Digest, where I provide you weekly updates of the latest information systems and technology news. As many of you remembered, last Monday the world encountered a massive outage. Some of our favorite applications like Roblox, Venmo, Lyft, Uber, Reddit, and Pinterest experienced outages, all stemming from one single thing: Amazon Web Services. If you know, Amazon Web Services owns 1/3 of the internet's infrastructure, and I kid you not, the internet probably would not be able to rely or function the way we want it to without the AWS cloud service. But what a cloud does is that allows you to run applications and websites without having any physical data servers present, because it's all in the cloud. Apple has iCloud, where your photos and all your images are stored. That is exactly what we are referring to, the cloud. 1/3 of the world basically runs on AWS, including many of the applications I just listed. The issue that, however, stemmed from AWS's DynamoDB, which is like a huge NoSQL database that contains so many sensitive and just confidential user information. The database optimized for performance at scale, and there's no need for any physical servers, as I mentioned. However, the issue stems from the domain name system, which is a common issue for outages. They are like the phone book for the internet. So they take in what is a hyperlink or a website when we look up a website over the internet, and they basically translate that into an IP address. What they do is they help find the corresponding IP address to the domain name, which helps connect it to the server. So that's how you are able to access your websites like Canvas, Reddit, Roblox, is through the domain name. But without the domain name, you're cooked, chap. It was all through a small minor update that AWS had with their DynamoDB that essentially caused this outage. If you were a student trying to submit your homework last Monday, the reason why you couldn't do it was because AWS was having an outage with their domain name system. And what does this mean for us? Why should I care about it? Well, if you're a business, you probably want to diversify your cloud services, or you'd want to have in-person, if you don't already have in-person servers. What does this mean as a user? Well, that means that we literally have a monopoly of Amazon, and a lot of our cloud is basically, a lot of everything is being run through Amazon. Some of these applications would be unusable without AWS. So now we know what AWS, now we know what cloud is, and now we know that there are other cloud providers out there, okay? Not everything has to be Amazon, And this is kind of scary, knowing that this could affect, us making payments through Venmo, us watching Netflix, us trying to submit assignment on Canvas last Monday, even though there was an outage and it was my first day of my geography class. But regardless, we all are now aware of how the outage stemmed, and if something like this were happening, you'd be like, hey, I think I know why this happened. It was the domain name system error.